Hello everyone, I am Vijay Kevlani, Assistant Professor, LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Welcome to the MOOC series, an initiative taken by LJ Institute of Pharmacy. In today's session, we are going to talk about clinical data interpretation. So, how to interpret the laboratory data? Let's see that part. Clinical laboratory test. A clinical laboratory test results are very important parameter in diagnosis, monitoring and screening. 70 to 80% of decision in diagnosis are based on laboratory results. The laboratory results must be interpreted on the background of a reference interval that is used to distinguish between health and disease condition. The clinician must also evaluate the result from the knowledge of biological variation and be aware of potential risk of false interpretation. What is lab result means? A positive test. A positive test means the substance for which the test is done is present. That is called a positive test. On the other side, a negative test means the substance for which the test is done is not present or is absent. Inconclusive test means the test is not having the proper results. The test for which the substance is tested is not having proper results. Hence, the test has to be repeated. What are false positive and false negative test results? A false positive result means the result is negative, means the substance for which the test is done is absent. Still, the test is showing present. Like for a virus in your body is absent, but still, according to the test result, it is present. It is known as false positive. On the other side, false negative, that means the substance for which the test is done is present and still the results are showing it as absent. That is known as false negative test. What if your results are different than that the reference range? It is possible that the difference from the reference range occurs even though there is nothing wrong with you. Sometimes certain factors can affect your test results, such as pregnancy, medicine you are taking, eating right before a test, smoking and being under stress. Why do values or reference ranges vary from lab to lab? So labs may use different types of equipments and test, and sometimes they set their own reference ranges and hence the test result may vary. The reference range may vary. Your lab reports will contain the reference range your lab uses. Do not compare results from different labs because different labs have different protocols, different instruments, different methods for the same test. Hence, the lab results or reference value may vary. Very first test, that is complete blood count, or you call it CBC. So the CBC is one of the most common blood tests. The CBC can help to detect blood disease and disorders such as anemia, infections, clotting problems, blood cancers and immune system related disorders. Peripheral venous blood is collected in lavender tube and should be thoroughly mixed. So in this, the blood is collected from a vein in a tube which is having lavender color tip, right? And that indicates that that vessel or that tube is containing EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate, as anticoagulant. Lavender color is denoted to EDTA. Unacceptable specimen, when the specimen or blood is clotted or when it is old more than 48 hours. Methodology for testing is whole blood analyzer. Now very first in CBC, very first is red blood cell. So normal value we already know 5.32, 4.3 to 5.9 million per ml, or it could be 4.3 to 5.9 or 4 to 6 cubic milliliter, right? Deficiency of RBC may lead to hemolytic anemia, that is decreased number of RBC, excessive bleeding, that also causes decreased number of RBC, hereditary spherocytosis. So hereditary spherocytosis is a rare genetic disorder in which RBC becomes spherical in shape and will break down. Elevation of RBC. The condition is known as polycythemia, and that is overproduction of RBC. It could be primary polycythemia or secondary polycythemia. In primary polycythemia, it is caused by overproduction of red blood cells by the bone marrow due to mutation of biological factors in the body. The secondary polycythemia may be due to smoking, high altitude, or congenital heart disease. Red blood cell enzyme disorders. So red blood cell enzyme disorders are important to recognize and diagnose for proper supportive care, monitoring and treatment. Very first enzyme is G6PD, that is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. Now deficiency in an X-linked disorder most commonly characterized by episodic hemolysis in the setting of oxidative triggers such as fava beans, that could be a trigger, or infection and certain medications. Enzymopathies such as pyruvate kinase deficiency should be suspected in patients of all ages with a chronic hemolytic anemia in the absence of immune-mediated hemolysis, a hemoglobinopathy, or evidence of red cell membrane disorder. Splenectomy partially ameliorates the anemia in most patients with pyruvate kinase deficiency and other red blood cell enzyme disorders. Glycolytic red cell disorders causes congenital hemolytic anemia with wide clinical heterogeneity and frequent complications, including neonatal jaundice, gallstone, and both transfusion-related and transfusion-independent iron load. Mean corpuscular volume, that is part of RBC index. So mean corpuscular volume is measure of average size of RBC. So normal size of RBC is 80 to 100 femtoliter. If RBCs are smaller than this size, it is known as microcytic anemia. If the RBC size is larger than this, then that is known as macrocytic anemia. Next is white blood cell. So we already know the normal range of white blood cell is 4000 to 11,000 per microliter. Among that, neutrophils are 2500 to 7500 per microliter. Eosinophils are 500 per microliter. Basophils are 0 to 300 per microliter. Lymphocytes are 3000 per microliter and monocytes are 200 to 600 per microliter. Deficiency of WBC. So very first, leukopenia is decrease in total number of WBC. Second is neutropenia, decrease in number of neutrophils. It can be due to aplastic anemia, chemotherapy, myelodysplasis, and thyroid fever and hyperglycemia. Basopenia, that is decrease in basophils, and that could be due to thyrotoxicosis, acute hypersensitivity reactions. Next is lymphocytopenia, decrease in lymphocytes. It could be due to viral infection, systemic lupus erythematosus, rheumatoid arthritis, or myasthenia gravis. Means all autoimmune disease leads to decrease in lymphocytes, that is lymphocytopenia. Then after, monocytopenia, decrease in number of monocytes, which can be due to Monomax syndrome. And next, it can be due to Mycobacterium avium complex that are related to tuberculosis, human papillomavirus, and certain fungi. Elevation in WBC is also seen, that indicates leukocytosis, increase in WBC. Neutrophilic leukocytosis, increase in neutrophils. Basophilia, increase in number of basophils, that could be found in hypothyroidism, myeloproliferative disorders. Eosinophilia, increase in number of eosinophils. It could be parasitic and fungal disease, allergies and skin disorders and toxins. Lymphocytic leukocytosis, increase in lymphocytes, and monocytosis, increase in number of monocytosis. Next is platelet. So normal value we already know 1.5 lakh to 4.5 lakh per microliter. Deficiency of platelet is thrombocytopenia, that is low number of platelet, and elevation in platelet, that is thrombocytosis, increased number of platelet. So acute bleeding and blood loss, cancer, infections and removal of spleen may lead to elevation in number of platelets. Next is blood clotting test. So there are certain clotting factors which are tested. Factor number 5 assay, fibrinogen level assay, prothrombin time. Right, prothrombin time is once again related to your blood clotting. It indicates how much time it requires to clot your blood. That is prothrombin time. So prothrombin is another protein which is produced by your liver. The prothrombin time test measures how well and how long it takes your blood to clot. It normally takes about 25 to 30 seconds. It may take longer if your blood is thinner. Other reasons for abnormal result includes hemophilia, liver disease and malabsorption. It's also useful in monitoring those who take medication that affects clotting, such as warfarin. So these are the normal values of clotting factors or clotting test. Very first is prothrombin time. Normal value is 9 to 11 seconds. INR, that is international normalized ratio, that is 0.9 to 1.2 second. PTT, that is 55 to 75 seconds. PTT is nothing but partial thromboplastin time, and APTT, that is activated partial thromboplastin time. Next is fibrinogen, that is 2032 to 377 mg per dl. Next important factor or important part is hemoglobin. So normal value is 14 to 100 gram per dl in male and 12 to 16 gram per dl in female. Based on hemoglobin, the anemia can be classified. So very first is normocytic, means hemoglobin levels are decreased but RBC size is normal. That indicates the patient may have normocytic anemia. Next is microcytic, so decrease in size of RBC due to decreased number of hemoglobin, right? And next is macrocytic, means increased size of RBC, right? But still the amount of hemoglobin is low. Next is sickle cell anemia, where alteration in hemoglobin structure is seen, and hematocrit, a different value from hemoglobin. So hematocrit is a measure how much space red blood cell takes up in your blood. A higher hematocrit level might mean dehydrated. A low hematocrit level might mean you have anemia. Abnormal hematocrit level also may be a sign of blood or bone marrow disorders. Then after, laboratory test for cardiovascular system. So very first is troponin. So whenever there is a cardiac damage, there is release of troponin. So in your blood, troponin levels will be high. So that indicates you are having any cardiac related problem. Next is ischemia modified albumin. So high level of ischemia modified albumin are seen in ischemia. Next is B-type nucleotic peptide test. So nucleotic peptide test is a blood test that measures level of protein called BPN that is made by your heart and blood vessel. Now nucleotic peptide levels are higher than normal when you have heart failure. Next is creatine kinase. So diagnosis for acute myocardial infarction, elevated level of creatine kinase diagnoses myocardial infarction. Next and very much important is C-reactive protein, which indicates inflammation in your body. So whenever you have inflammation of any internal organ, your CRP, that is C-reactive protein, will be too much high. C-reactive protein is marker for inflammation and atherosclerosis has an inflammatory component. Patients with elevated level of CRP have an increased risk for heart attack, stroke, sudden death and vascular diseases. CRP level less than 1 is low risk, CRP level 1 to 3 immediate risk, CRP intermediate risk, CRP greater than 3 that is high risk. Next is lipoprotein phospholipase A2. So elevation in the level of lipoprotein phospholipase A2 indicates greater risk of plaque formation and greater risk of cardiac event. Next is measurement of total cholesterol. So total cholesterol also indicates your heart condition. So a lipoprotein panel in a blood test that can help to show whether you are at risk for coronary artery disease, that is related to heart failure or heart attack. The test looks at substances in your blood that carries cholesterol. A lipoprotein panel gives information about total cholesterol, LDL, that is low density lipoprotein, or you can call it bad cholesterol, HDL, that is high density lipoprotein, or you can call it good cholesterol, triglyceride. So triglyceride is a type of fat present in your blood. A lipoprotein panel measures the level of LDL, HDL, cholesterol and triglyceride in your blood. Abnormal cholesterol and triglyceride level may be signs of increased risk of coronary heart diseases. Most people will need to fast for 9 to 12 hours before a lipoprotein panel. So these are the values. HDL cholesterol, if it is less than 40 mg per dl, a major risk factor for heart disease. 40 to 59 mg per dl, the higher the better. 60 mg per dl or above, it can be protective against heart disease. Triglyceride levels, that is 150 mg per dl is optimal, 150 to 199 that is borderline, 200 to 499 that is high, and 500 mg per dl or more is very high. Lipoprotein panel, in that total cholesterol and LDL levels. So total cholesterol 200 mg per dl is desirable, 200 to 230 mg per dl that is borderline, and 240 mg per dl or above is high total cholesterol. Same for HDL, if it is 100 mg per dl it is optimal, if it is 100 to 129 mg per dl it is near optimal or above optimal limit. 130 to 159 mg per dl indicates borderline, 160 to 189 mg per dl indicates high, and 190 mg per dl or above is very high LDL. Laboratory test for liver. This group of tests indirectly assess the health of liver cells by measuring enzymes arising from the cell, and also access substances produced by the liver and used elsewhere in the body. The very first test is alanine transaminase. Alanine transaminase is used by our body to metabolize protein. If liver is damaged or not functioning properly, ALT is released in the blood. This causes ALT levels to increase. A high result on this test can be sign of liver damage. Second is aspartate transaminase. So AST is an enzyme found in several parts of body. Since AST level aren't specific for liver damage, it is usually measured together with ALT to check the liver problems with the liver damage. AST is released in the bloodstream. A high result on an AST test might indicate problem with liver or muscles. Alkaline phosphatase. So alkaline phosphatase test is typically ordered in combination with several other tests. High level of ALP may indicate liver damage, blockage of bile ducts or bone disease. Next is albumin test. So we already know that albumin is produced by liver. If liver is damaged, albumin levels will be low in your blood. Next is bilirubin. So we also know that bilirubin is formed by liver. It is processed by liver, right? And if there is change in total bilirubin or unconjugated bilirubin or conjugated bilirubin, it indicates liver disease. So these are the values: AST, ALT, ALP, bilirubin and CGT. Laboratory test for kidney. So very first is urea clearance test. The urea clearance test means how much amount of blood is cleared from urea per minute. So urea clearance test requires a blood sample to measure the amount of urea in your bloodstream and to urine specimen collected 1 hour apart to determine the amount of urea that is filtered or cleared by the kidney into urine. Urine osmolarity test. So urine osmolarity is a measure of number of dissolved particles in urine. The test may be done on urine sample collected first thing in the morning, on multiple time samples, or on a cumulative sample collected over 24-hour period. Next is blood urea nitrogen, that is BUN. So BUN test measures the amount of nitrogen contained in the urea. High BUN level can indicate kidney dysfunction, but because BUN is also affected by protein intake and liver function, the test is usually done together with the blood creatinine, a more specific indicator of kidney function. Creatinine clearance. So with normal kidney function, the amount of creatinine in the blood remains relatively constant and normal. For this reason, and because creatinine is affected very little by liver function, an elevated blood creatinine level is more sensitive indicator for impaired kidney function than BUN. Urine albumin. So healthy kidneys have filter. This removes waste but keep in large cells like red blood cells and proteins. Albumin is one type of protein. When the filters are damaged, they may leak protein into your urine, and it shows protein is present in your urine. Right? So that shows your kidney damage. Other blood test. Measurement of the blood levels of other elements regulated in part by the kidney can also be useful in evaluating kidney functions. This includes sodium, potassium, carbon dioxide, bicarbonates, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, protein, uric acid and glucose. So these are the values and indications: sodium, potassium, carbon dioxide and calcium. Other is chloride, phosphorus. And lab test, as we have discussed: serum creatinine, creatinine clearance, urine albumin, BUN, urine microalbumin and albumin to creatinine ratio. Frequently asked questions from these topics are: thank you. Please like, share and subscribe our channel for more videos. Thank you.